The first round of the NFL playoffs are officially over, and now the divisional round is officially set. What is going on, y'all? 5 Sports Talk back at it with another video talking, of course, some NFL here to talk about the NFL playoffs. So if you're new to my channel, welcome, guys. Make sure to go ahead and subscribe by hitting the big red subscribe button down below, folks. It helps me out a lot when you support the channel. So go ahead and do so. What are you waiting for? You know you want to. Go ahead and do so. And follow me, guys, on my social media. Links down below and on the screen. For my Twitter, my Instagram, you guys can reach out to me, interact, whatever it is. I'm here for you guys. With that being said, you guys see the whiteboard behind me. I've got my divisional round set according to how the matchups are going to shake out, and I will be giving you guys my picks for every single matchup. So we're going to go through this, but also I have to recap how I did in the wild card round. So let's get to that first, and then we'll get to my divisional round picks. So, how did I do in the wild card round? Well, I'm glad you asked. I did pretty well. Okay, if I must say so myself, I did pretty well. 3 out of 4 games I predicted correctly, and it could have easily been 4 out of 4 if the Saints didn't blow it. And yes, I'm going to say blow it because here's the thing, folks. The Saints last couple of seasons, I mean, everybody's been saying, you know, with the whole getting robbed and whatnot. Folks, after a while, it comes to a point where you just got to be able to play better than the other team and not make it, you know, that close of a game. And the Saints, to me, I still believe, are the overall better team, and they lost to the Minnesota Vikings. So that was frustrating, to say the least. But I did pick the Houston Texans to win against the Buffalo Bills. I did predict the upset. I told you guys that the Tennessee Titans would beat the New England Patriots, as they did. And then I also predicted the Seattle Seahawks to beat the Philadelphia Eagles. So I'm pretty happy with myself. Let's keep the momentum going, folks. But like I said, it could have easily been 4-4. I should be 4-4. But props to the Minnesota Vikings, who came into the Superdome and did not back down. And especially big shout out to Kirk Cousins, man, who made 2 of the biggest throws of his entire career. You like that? I'm pretty sure none of the Saints or the Saints fans like that, but the rest of the NFL, man, you better like that because Kirk Cousins shut everybody the hell up who has been hating on him. So with that being said, folks, let's talk about this week's picks. I've got them mapped out here. We've got the AFC and we've got the NFC, so hopefully you guys can see this. We've got the Ravens against the Titans, the 1 versus the 6 seed. We've got the Chiefs against the Texans for the 2 matchups in the AFC, and then the NFC over here, we've got the 49ers, the number 1 seed, against the Minnesota Vikings, and then we've got the Green Bay Packers against the, and I wrote Packers here twice, let me correct that, Packers versus the Seattle Seahawks. So let me start with the NFC, and we're actually going to start with the matchup I just mentioned, which is the Seattle Seahawks against the Green Bay Packers, and yes, I've corrected it now. The Seahawks are now the number 5 seed, the Packers are not the number 2 and the number 5 seed. That is not possible. So that has been corrected. So who do I have winning this matchup? And here is where I am at with this matchup, okay? This isn't about the quarterbacks. No, this isn't about Aaron Rodgers and Russell Wilson. Folks, this is about everything outside of the quarterbacks, okay? When I take a look at this matchup objectively, okay, it's going to be played in Lambeau. We know that. Suboptimal conditions. It's going to be cold, probably windy, could snow. I haven't checked the weather. But taking a look at all of those things, to me, the Packers are the better team, clearly. And why do I say clearly? Because when you take a look at the Seattle Seahawks, yes, they beat the Philadelphia Eagles, which I predicted them too. But what did it take for them to beat the Eagles? Carson Wentz literally got hurt. Concussion. He had to check out of the game. Never returned. They're on their backup quarterback, Josh McCown. The Eagles had their starting wide receiver 1, Alshon Jeffrey, on IR. Nelson Aguilar, another one of the starting wide receivers. He didn't play. Okay, you got your starting tight end, Zach Ertz, dealing with a huge rib injury. So you're starting Dallas Goedert. You're starting guys like Greg Ward, Boston Scott. Nobody had heard of these guys, folks. Okay, so the opponent was clearly inferior. And the Seattle Seahawks, it's not like they blew them out the water, even still, okay? And take a look at the Seattle Seahawks coming into the playoffs. They were not looking very good, folks. They lost to the Cardinals. They lost to the Rams. I mean, it was pretty bad. And Russell Wilson was not playing that great of football. With that being said, he's still Russell Wilson. He still delivered that rocket of a throw to DK Metcalf, which was phenomenal. Point being is, who do I have in this matchup? I've got the Packers, okay? Here's why. Again, Aaron Rodgers aside, Aaron Jones has been a beast. And where does Seattle struggle? In the running attack or lack thereof. They can't stop the run, okay? And obviously, you can take a look at the numbers. Kenyon Drake literally rushed for 166 yards and 2 touchdowns, okay? I just mentioned they lost to the Cardinals. That was a big reason why. If the Seattle Seahawks had any semblance of a good running back or a healthy running back, they probably could have ran the football on the Seattle Seahawks as well. So when I take a look at Aaron Jones and what he can potentially do to this Seattle defense, that makes me lean Packers. The weather, that being cold, that obviously advantage to the Green Bay Packers. And again, I'm taking quarterbacks aside because Aaron Rodgers and Russell Wilson, I mean, to me, they're 2 of the best quarterbacks in the NFL, 2 of the top 5 quarterbacks in the NFL. So you can call it a push here, okay? So I'm taking that out of the equation, okay? Not an advantage or disadvantage either way. I'm just looking at everything else. The defense for the Green Bay Packers, I believe it's much better than the defense for the Seattle Seahawks, okay? Zadarius Smith's been a beast, folks. I don't know how he got snubbed. Did he even make the Pro Bowl? He is phenomenal. The Packers D-line, the Packers corners, they're all very, very good, okay? Blake Martinez, linebacker. The Packers defense is going to give the offensive line for the Seattle Seahawks fits, and Russell Wilson's not going to have enough time to throw. And you can't tell me you can depend on Marshawn Lynch. Yes, he's beast mode, but at this point in his career, he can't carry you literally like he used to do with the Seattle Seahawks and some guy named Travis Homer, okay? So to me, Chris Carson, losing him and losing Rashad Penny was huge. The Seattle Seahawks, yes, they had a great win against the Eagles, but the buck stops here. I've got the Green Bay Packers beating the Seattle Seahawks in the divisional round. So we'll go ahead and mark down the Green Bay Packers as my pick to advance here. And now let's move on to the other NFC matchup. We've got the 49ers against the Minnesota Vikings, folks. Okay, now let's obviously address the elephant in the room here. We've got the number 1 seed and the number 6 seed, okay? So literally the team that edged into the playoffs versus the best team in the conference in terms of record. So how am I going to analyze this matchup? And for me, the thing that stands out here, again, is the fact that to me, the 49ers are literally the Vikings on steroids. I mean, they're literally the same roster, but they do things just better. Okay, better defense, better D-line, better quarterback play, arguably, you could say. Running attack if you combine that. So to me, just the 49ers are just a bit better of a team. But you take a look at the Minnesota Vikings coming in hot. Obviously, you can't underestimate that. But again, winning against the Saints, it took them a missed kick by Will Lutz, or else the Saints would have won that game. And they got the ball, obviously, in overtime. So again, I got to give props to Kirk Cousins, not taking that away. But we all know the Saints were the better team here. But the Minnesota Vikings, their roster is still very, very good. Okay, so when I take a look at the 49ers and the Vikings, I just feel like the 49ers roster is a little bit better. You get home field advantage. And you've got the number 1 pass defense in the NFL, I believe, if I check correctly. It is the number 1 pass defense, which is obviously a bad thing for Kirk Cousins because I believe with Nick Bosa rushing the edge, Kirk Cousins is not going to have enough time. A running quarterback would give the Vikings a little bit more trouble, but in this instance, you have a quarterback that doesn't run in Kirk Cousins, so he's not going to be able to do that, and that is advantage to the Vikings. So to me, again, they will be able to neutralize Kirk Cousins, so it's really about stopping Dalvin Cook, and to me, the 49ers defense is no joke. Even though they're better against the pass than they are against the rush, they should be able to do a good job of slowing down Dalvin Cook. So to me, home field and a better overall roster, I'm going to go with the San Francisco 49ers to advance to the divisional round. Now let's move on to the AFC, and we've got the Chiefs versus the Texans, folks. This is going to be a nightmare of a game for Bears fans because it's going to be Deshaun Watson versus Patrick Mahomes, and that is all people talk about. Again, it was so funny during the Texans games. Deshaun Watson throws obviously what ended up being the game-winning pass, and Mitch Trubisky was training. The Bears were training. It's so funny. But again, I digress. Point being is this will be a phenomenal matchup. The Chiefs versus the Texans, the 2 and the 4 seed. I've got the Chiefs winning. Okay, now I will say the Chiefs were my pick to come out of the AFC, so I kind of am picking them a little bit because of that reason. But not really. I do believe the Chiefs are the better team here. And why do I say that? To me, the defense is just a lot better. The Chiefs defense has been hot, red hot, to close the season, okay? They were shutting teams out. I mean, it was bad. So they are obviously going to be up against a tall task stopping Deshaun Watson. But the thing with Deshaun Watson is he can't play defense. So that's a bad thing for the Texans. Obviously, I'm making a comparison here in terms of exaggerating for the fact that the Texans defense isn't very good and they wish they could have somebody like Deshaun Watson, okay? So that is an advantage to Patrick Mahomes because why? You just played Josh Allen, the Texans did, and Patrick Mahomes is light years better than Josh Allen. So if Josh Allen, as much as of an up and down game as he did have, and by the way, before like his implosion in the fourth quarter, he had a pretty good game. If Josh Allen can do that to the Texans defense, imagine what Patrick Mahomes will do. So you've got your full complement of weapons: Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce, Damian Williams, Shady McCoy. You've got a better offense to me, in my opinion, a better quarterback to me, in my opinion, and a better defense, in my opinion. So why would I pick the Texans here? So I'm going with the Chiefs here to advance. I just believe they're just the better team overall in every facet of the game. Now, let's finally move on to the last matchup. We've got the Ravens and the Titans. And on paper, you would think this is a pretty easy pick, right? You just go with the Ravens and you move on. Here's my problem, okay? I'm the guy that called the upset on the Titans, okay? Why did I call the upset on the Titans, folks? If you guys remember, I called it for one reason. I've been watching football long enough to know you don't bet against NFL teams that get hot. The Tennessee Titans were the hottest team in the second half of this season. Bill Belichick, I think he and a few other coaches have said it's always about what you do post-Thanksgiving in the NFL than pre-Thanksgiving. That is when the real NFL season starts. And so the Titans, folks, I've been telling you, take a look at teams that are trending upwards and teams that are trending downwards. So that is why I'm really struggling here, because I legitimately believe the Tennessee Titans can beat the Baltimore Ravens. I do. Here's my issue. The Ravens, unlike the Patriots, are not trending down. If anything, they've been good all season, so maybe they're going flat, right? They're just good, but they're not trending down. And so that is the big thing here. And the other thing here is what makes the Tennessee Titans go. It is Derrick Henry. He's a truck. He's a bowling ball. He is an absolute tank. I can't imagine tackling Derrick Henry. That dude is an absolute beast, okay? The Ravens are fifth against the run. So, they are equipped to try, emphasis on the word try, to stop Derrick Henry. Whether or not that happens, obviously we'll see. But they have the fifth best defense against the run. So, again, if you stop Derrick Henry, I'm not sold on Ryan Tannehill being able to carry you. Okay, I love A.J. Brown, love what he's done. Ryan Tannehill's been very, very good. But Derrick Henry is what makes that team go. And if you stop Derrick Henry, I believe you can stop the Tennessee Titans. So, the Ravens side of the football, it's so funny. I've talked about this matchup and haven't even mentioned the MVP of the NFL, Lamar Jackson, even once. Because, again, here's the thing. Offensive side of the football, we know the Ravens are going to be able to put up points. It's can you stop the Titans? And so, to me, we take a look at that. I get the MVP of the NFL. I get the best rushing attack outside of Tennessee. Literally the only team that runs the ball better than the Titans are the Ravens. So, to me, I can't do it. I want to. I really do. I really want to pick the upset. And, folks, I love picking upsets, but I'm not going to do it just to pick an upset. So, I'm going to go with the Ravens to advance here and beat the Tennessee Titans. So, sorry, Titans fans. The buck stops here. Let's see. But that's what I have. So, there you have, folks, my picks for the divisional round. Yes, they're favorites, okay? But, again, if I saw a team that could upset, I'd do it. Again, Titans, they're hot. Just saying. Ravens, Chiefs, 49ers, Packers. My picks for the divisional round. Let me know what you guys think. Leave a comment down below if you agree or disagree. As always, thanks for watching.